Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Mouse Mana and Mouse Naama here on Scrap Station. And game 2 in a best of 5 series. Game 1 was on Lost Temple. If you guys cannot find it, it's because it's on the SC Legacy channel. Go ahead and check out their website or their YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/sclegacy. Naama is spawning at the 12 o'clock location as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile, we have Mana spawning as the blue Protoss player here at the 3 o'clock location. Now, I'm no longer going to add any more of those bubbles to subscribe. For some reason, after I put up that bubble, my subscriber rates are actually going into the negative. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Hopefully that is not going to be some sort of disturbing trend. I like doing this for you guys, but obviously if you guys do not want to subscribe to me, feel free to unsubscribe. There are a lot of great YouTube shoutcasters out there. I am just one of many, but hopefully you guys enjoy my style and my insight and I guess a couple of my word salads. Now, Mouse Mana currently just continue to chrono boost off of this Nexus here at the 3 o'clock location. Meanwhile, Naama just spawning here or now getting up a barracks. So pretty standard builds so far. This supply depot may be raised, and I do not know if that's quite close enough to actually be a complete seal. I can't see the grid if I actually wanted to. Can I see the grid? Actually, no, I hit B, and of course it is now going to go ahead and reload back to the very, very basic, and now rewinding the game a little bit, waiting for that one refinery to be placed down. That refinery, there we go. Now we're back into this game. Anyways, back here we do see a gateway being placed down by Mana. So Mana, and very, very typically just trying to hide a lot of his gateways in the back of his base, making it very difficult for a Terran player to really scan and figure out the strategy that Mana is going for. One of the things that a lot of Protoss players, a lot of, I guess, mid-level Diamond and Platinum players do with their gateways is they generally try to place them together. Although it is nice to have multiple pylons powering your gateways, you do not want to make it very easy for your opponent to scout what strategy you are going for. Normally, you want your production buildings relatively close together just because that allows you to keep track of your production buildings and also hotkey them a little bit more easily. But with the power of the warp gate, the warp gate ability just allows you to just build wherever you have pylon power, and with that, you don't need to place your gateways together. So I really like this play by Mana. Mana may be able to place another gateway over here, and then maybe hide a gateway here and here as well, making it almost next to impossible to have one scanner sweep reveal the overall strategy that the Protoss player Mana is going for. Back here, we now see a second refinery being placed down by Naama, so Naama opting to tech out a little bit further. Now, I would be surprised if Naama goes for mass barracks, just because of this second refinery. Second refinery does more than likely means more gas. I guess, or I assume he could be trying to go for mass ghosts or going for more ghosts. Ghosts are very, very strong in a Protoss versus Terran matchup, as Terran players are able to deplete all the shields and deal a front-loaded damage towards those Protoss units. One probe trying to come over here, however, quickly activating this Onaga Watchpower Marine. The Marine is able to get sight of that probe and now force that probe back. Back over here, we now see more scouting supply depots being placed down, and curious as to whether or not we are going to get a tech lab as a second, or now a starport being placed down. So interestingly enough, we now have a starport with a tech lab, and it is going to be Banshees. Banshee play will be coming in from Mana, so Mana using Mana will be forced to try to get an observer relatively early, and now with that robotics facility, it's going to be a 2-gate into a robo facility in order to get that observer and do some scouting. One SCV continuing to walk around the map, trying to make sure that there is no hidden strategy or no hidden tech so far. Not quite sure how that SCV was able to get there. SCV was able to get there. Perhaps I think that SCV has just been hiding there for a majority of the time as one SCV activating this Onaga Watchtower here. Back here, we now see a bunker with 3 Marines in there, able to hold off on that front door and able to deal a lot of damage towards any stalkers, zealots, or sentries that try to walk up that ramp. Back here, we now see more Marines continuing to be trained, and now we see a Banshee and also Cloak currently being researched. I'm taking a look at the production. Yeah, Observer and Warp Gate research nearing completion as well. However, there are no proxy pylons anywhere to be seen, so Mana will not be able to warp in any units relatively quickly. Back over here, we now see another pylon being placed down here. I do not believe you can actually warp in any units onto that island, and with one pylon here, I just don't think it actually goes across that gap. It doesn't go across that distance, as now we finally have an observer making its way out. If that observer does get shot down by a scanner sweep, that would be very, very bad for Mana. Mana needs to keep those observers, especially as Banshees are now joining in on this fight. Observer should be able to, is able to see that one Banshee flying by, however, not moving over to engage, and now we have a couple Stalkers here. We do have a second Observer now coming online, so with a second Observer, that second Observer will obviously be able to spot this Banshee, and this Banshee harassment will pretty much be nil. Or nullified, as that Banshee quickly tries to cloak, and now going after those units here, and now able to start dealing some damage, and now focusing down that one Banshee already down to 50 hit points, 30, and there it goes. So a very, very early Banshee unable to deal any damage whatsoever, and now Naama is very, very much in the hurt, as his whole entire strategy is quickly coming apart now. And now we see that Naama is quickly changing up, going into a barracks with another tech lab, and now perhaps going to try to go for some medevacs and Marines. There does not seem to be any stim pack, no combat shield research just quite yet. We do see siege tanks, so it could be Marine and Marine tank moving out in just a moment, as a Banshee tries to make its way over into this position, and this Banshee will get a lot of kills as those probes are quickly getting taken down, getting some damage dealt. There is no observer here, however, with 3 Stalkers, you can never be too careful. Those 3 Stalkers able to deal a lot of damage to that Banshee relatively quickly, as the Stalkers also move much more quickly than that Banshee. I do not know how helicopter vertical takeoff liftoff works in space, but apparently it does, and I guess that's just why it moves so slow in space. Anyways, back here, a couple of Marines, and now we see a reactor being placed down by the starport, so it is going to be a medevac, double medevacs, or maybe into Vikings. Vikings would be there to try to counter any Colossi or Void Rays. However, there is not any Colossi or Void Rays that I can see so far, as Mouse Mana goes into a 5-gate with a robotics facility in order to keep track and keep scout. So one Banshee over here just keeping track of the mining that's going on at the natural expansion, just out of sight range, and this Banshee now wants to move out of here, does not want to engage, as that Banshee now quickly comes in, is currently cloaking up, and now dealing some damage. However, there is one observer close by. Yeah, there's that observer there, and able to shoo away that Banshee. Once again, that Banshee perhaps should decloak and not waste any of that energy once more. So yeah, energy on those Banshees, very, very critical, as that Banshee now trying to fly away. We do see one Stalker over here. The Banshee may actually try to get one kill there, and yeah, and it looks like that Banshee just hovering over the top of that Stalker, getting a lot of damage dealt so far. You can see that the Stalker down to 11 hit points. There it goes. It has been taken down. Army-wise, Vikings, medevacs, siege tanks, and Marines and Hellions down over here. I do not see any Vikings just quite yet, just more medevacs still, but not double training them, so not even using that reactor to its fullest potential, as we now see Stalkers and Zealots making their way over to try to take down these destructible rocks. One Zealot already down, very, very low on hit points, may get taken down, no, down to 14 hit points, and able to barely escape there. Those shields will recharge, will regenerate, as an observer comes over in order to offer some additional help there. Stalkers once again trying to re-engage, and now with one Banshee, that Banshee able to deal some damage, no, unable to deal any damage at all, as there is one observer in the air, and now that Banshee is being forced to pull back. So this Banshee still in position in order to, I guess, keep track and make sure that there is that these units are in fact coming in. We now see one Banshee making their way across the map and not shot down, as these are rallied to that location. That Banshee may be able to get some damage dealt, as we now see a Twilight Council being warped in. Twilight Council is for Stalker Blink, or more likely High Templars. So High Templars may be coming in just a moment. However, I think the army of Mana is just simply so large, especially with those force fields. It will be able to spit up a lot of those infantry units. However, there are a lot of siege tanks, so siege tanks being able to blast and deal a lot of damage very quickly. And now, wow, Mana did not calculate that fight very, very carefully at all, especially as those SCVs came off the mineral line and was able to absorb so much of that damage there. So by pulling his SCVs back, he was able to get enough of an advantage, Naama was, in order to push back this very aggressive attack by Mana so far. So the Protoss player, not sure what he can really do so far, as these siege tanks and Marines and Marauders continue to just move out. There is one Marine currently acting as an early scout, now trying to take down one of those probes. Probe will quickly get taken down, and those sentries quickly going to get some force fields as well. Siege tanks now sieging up, ready to deal damage, and now looks like those 3 back siege tanks are moving back, or unsieging, and 1 Marine trying to make its way out once again. Siege tanks on the move, quickly almost able to get a blast there, and now Marines and Marauders getting stuck out of position. Zealots trying to engage, but those Zealots also taking a lot of damage as well from those siege tanks. Siege tanks able to blast away and continue to push even further. So as more siege tanks are moving out, we now see a couple of those medevacs currently having a lot of those units. Not quite sure why they are lifting up so many of those units. They just need to unload it all. As we now see a missile turret being built by Naama. So Naama now currently building some additional missile turrets. And now another siege tank coming in online. Marines trying to use those stim packs, trying to move back and forth production-wise. We are getting Psystorm now. So Psystorm nearing completion. Zealots and Stalkers now moving in. Stalkers do not have Stalker Blink, trying to deal more damage. Missile turret quickly shooting one of those observers out of the air. And now Marines and Marauders trying to clean up the rest of this fight here. More sentries getting taken down. Sentries, very, very expensive units. 100 gas, and now these backdoor rocks are very, very much in trouble. Stalkers unable to see what's happening right here as these rocks are getting taken down. More Zealots now being warped in as well, but I do not see any High Templars currently being warped in. Never mind, two High Templars currently being warped in. However, not enough energy for Psystorm, and in addition, Psystorm has not yet been researched. Marines and Marauders continuing to just try to pile through this one very, very narrow choke point. However, it does not look like it's going to work. A siege tank now trying to siege up here. I believe it is just beyond sight range because of those vents. Able to see across this gap, and that is about it. Marines and Marauders will be able to finish off that pylon here, and things are not looking good for Mana. Mana able to at least get 1 medevac there, and now we're getting the Amulet research. Amulet research allows High Templar to warp in with enough energy for a Psystorm, and now these siege tanks dealing so much damage very, very quickly. Also dealing a fair amount of splash damage as well. We'll be able to start pushing against this natural expansion as Marines and Marauders trying to attack from both sides. Psystorm quickly being cast. Zealots now just running, charging in, and now able to clean up so much of this damage here. This is not looking good at all for Naama. Naama was not expecting Psystorm and Zealots, and with so much damage being dealt across so many of these units, this whole entire siege tank line may get taken down relatively quickly. There is nothing in that bunker, however, so as long as Naama does have these medevacs in the air, he will be able to win this war of attrition, and that's what it looks like what's happening. Being able to fight back there. The siege tanks have been taken down. However, Marines and Marauders were able to deal so much damage so quickly and able to essentially clean up many of those siege tanks. Another group of Marines and Marauders quickly trying to come in. There is 1 photon cannon here. Not enough energy for a Psystorm. I believe, yeah, not enough energy for a Psystorm. Will not be able to do anything about that as that main nexus has been taken down. Back here, you can see Naama currently mining off of 4 mineral patches, and that is it. Things are not looking good. Marines and Marauders just using those stim packs, able to walk up that ramp. More Psystorm quickly being cast. More Psystorm hitting a lot of units there. Zealots continuing that charge, trying to give chase. Marines and Marauders able to use stim packs, able to pull back as more Psystorm now being cast. Those Psystorms dealing damage towards their own Zealots. And now those Zealots being forced to pull back once again. So one Archon here, it gets taken down. As these units continue to fight on both sides just dealing massive amounts of damage so far. Siege tank now going to get ready to blast up onto that high ground, able to deal a lot of damage very, very quickly. And now down goes one of those, those pylons not getting damaged any further as more Marines and Marauders trying to fight back. And things are not looking good once again, and Mouse Mana says GG. So now, Mouse Mana moving on to Game 3. I don't want to give anything away just in case you guys have not seen Game 1 yet. Go ahead and check out SC Legacy's YouTube channel, youtube.com/SC Legacy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Mouse Mana and Mouse Naama here on Scrap Station. Please remember to like this video if you enjoyed it. Once again, thanks for watching.